Hey everyone! Today we're diving into the fascinating story of King Solomon, a legendary figure in history known for his wisdom and wealth. According to the Bible and other traditions like Islam and Rastafarianism, Solomon was the third and final king of the United Israel. His reign is often called the Golden Age of Israel because of its prosperity. Born around 1010 BCE, Solomon was the son of King David in Bathsheba. Solomon ruled for 40 years, just like his father David and predecessor Saul. During his reign, he controlled key trade routes and forged powerful alliances, even marrying hundreds of wives to strengthen his position. One of his greatest achievements was building the first temple in Jerusalem, though it was later destroyed by the Babylonians in 586 BCE. However, not everything was perfect. As Solomon grew older, his kingdom faced rebellions and attacks. Cultural compromises began to weaken Israel's unity, leading to a decline by the end of his rule. Solomon passed away in 931 BCE, remembered as one of Israel's most successful and wise kings. Let's rewind a bit to understand how Solomon's journey began. It all started with his father, King David. David was chosen by the prophet Samuel to lead after King Saul. He became king around 1010 BCE and reigned for 40 years, though his rule was marked by both triumphs and troubles. David wasn't chosen to build God's temple because of his violent past, leaving that task to Solomon. Toward the end of his life, David faced a coup attempt by his son Adonijah, who wanted the throne for himself. But the prophet Nathan and Bathsheba intervened, ensuring that Solomon became the next king, just as David had promised. And after King David passed away in 961 BCE, Solomon became king. David had left him with some wise advice: follow God's commandments to ensure prosperity. Initially, there was a threat of civil war because of Solomon's brother Adonijah, who made another attempt to seize power. But Solomon swiftly dealt with him and his supporters, ensuring his own reign was secure. One of the most incredible parts of Solomon's story is his divine gift. When God asked what Solomon wanted, he chose wisdom to govern the people effectively. Impressed by this humble request, God granted him not only wisdom but also unmatched wealth and honor. Solomon's reign was marked by prosperity and innovation. He fortified defenses, expanded the royal court, and improved the economy through clever taxation and trade. He even built a powerful navy to protect trade routes. As the Bible says, silver and gold in Jerusalem were as common as stones. Solomon also formed strategic alliances through marriages with neighboring nations, having 700 wives and 300 concubines. One of his most famous relationships was with the Queen of Sheba, who visited Israel with lavish gifts. She was so impressed by Solomon's wisdom and wealth that it left her speechless. Their relationship strengthened Israel's trade with Arabian nations. In some traditions, it's believed that Solomon and the Queen of Sheba had a child whose lineage included Haile Selassie, connecting Solomon to both King David and Jesus Christ in Rastafarian belief. And now let's discuss about construction of Solomon's temple and his literary contributions. Solomon is best known for building the temple in Jerusalem, a dream his father David couldn't achieve. The temple's construction started in the 4th year of Solomon's reign and took 7 years to complete. It was an architectural marvel of its time, doubling the size of the previous tabernacle. Imagine this: a stunning structure with stone walls hidden by cedar and overlaid with gold. Inside, intricate carvings, golden lampstands, and the sacred Ark of the Covenant resided in the Holy of Holies, a place so sacred that only the chief priest could enter once a year. The temple wasn't just a spiritual center, it was a symbol of Israel's wealth and Solomon's grandeur. Solomon also undertook other grand projects, like building his palace and revamping cities, harbors, and stables across the kingdom. Besides being a master builder, Solomon was a prolific writer. He contributed to the Hebrew scriptures with books like Proverbs, the Song of Songs, and Ecclesiastes. These works delve into wisdom, love, and life's deeper meanings, reflecting Solomon's own experiences. Proverbs offers practical advice for living wisely, while the Song of Songs is a poetic celebration of love. Ecclesiastes ponders life's purpose, showcasing Solomon's reflections on wisdom, wealth, and self-realization. Solomon's literary influence extended beyond the Bible. Though some works are lost, writings like the Testament of Solomon and the Wisdom of Solomon are attributed to him, exploring themes like magic and wisdom. As Solomon's reign progressed, his heart began to stray. Despite his wisdom and accomplishments, he drifted away from his devotion to God. His many foreign wives led him to worship other gods, which was a big no-no in the Hebrew scriptures. This shift in loyalty angered God, who had once blessed Solomon with unmatched prosperity. Because of this, Solomon faced challenges both internally and externally. Jeroboam was promised a future as king by the prophet Ahijah. Meanwhile, adversaries like Hadad and Rezon rose against Solomon, threatening his control over Israel's territories. Solomon's reign ended in 931 BCE, and his son Rehoboam took over, leading to a civil war and the division of the kingdom. Now, let's talk about the evidence for Solomon's existence. Although hard to pin down with certainty, there are intriguing finds. In the 1800s, the Bubastide portal mentioned conflicts with regions led by King Rehoboam. This links Pharaoh Shoshenq with King Shishak from the scriptures. The Mesha Stele, discovered in 1868, mentions Israel and King Omri, adding more historical context. Yagel-Uddin's excavations in the mid-1900s revealed city gates attributed to Solomon's era, showing architectural consistency across different sites. In 1993, the Tel Dan inscription referenced both the King of Israel and the House of David, providing direct evidence of the Davidic line. More recently, Eilat Mazar's discoveries of ancient walls and structures in Jerusalem point to a sophisticated society during Solomon's time. These findings, while indirect, suggest that the biblical accounts may have historical roots, keeping Solomon's legacy alive in the archaeological world. So, what do all these findings mean for our understanding of King Solomon and his reign? Well, while the discoveries are not conclusive, they do lend some credence to the idea that a united kingdom of Israel existed in the Mediterranean region. The extent of Israel's influence, military strength, and infrastructural contributions, as well as the historical significance of its early leaders, remain partially obscured. But with each new archaeological discovery and the advancements in technology, we're slowly illuminating the shadows of a long-hidden past. Archaeological evidence for other kings of Israel and Judah, like Omri, Ahab, Joram, Ahaziah, Jehu, and Hezekiah, has been uncovered, providing more pieces to the puzzle. However, it's intriguing that King Solomon, traditionally viewed as the wisest and most prosperous king, has scant direct historical or archaeological references outside of the Hebrew scriptures. The scriptures depict him as both incredibly wise and tragically flawed, a portrayal that's both ironic and thought-provoking given the lack of external evidence. In conclusion, while we may not have definitive proof of Solomon's reign, the ongoing discoveries and research keep the quest for understanding his legacy alive. Solomon's story, filled with wisdom, grandeur, and eventual downfall, continues to captivate us, offering timeless lessons and a glimpse into a distant, enigmatic past.